I got it.
Welcome to the Jira Life, the place to find news, events, and interviews with the Atlassian Community's movers and shakers. Join our hosts, Alex, Dr. Jira Ortiz, and Rodney, the Jira Guy Nissen, as well as the Jira Amigos in the Peanut Gallery, as we sit down and discuss the latest going on in the Atlassian ecosystem. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life chose us.
We did 50 of these and we still can't figure out how to go live.
No. To be fair, you waited on the guy with spotty hotel internet to go live. I mean, come on.
You didn't pay the extra fee for the preferred speed?
I didn't get the option.
How's Barcelona?
Oh, so beautiful. And I only got lost once. Only once. Yeah.
I got a message from Dr. Valeriana saying, I think I lost Rodney. I'm like, what do you mean you lost Rodney? It's like, he's in the subway or something somewhere, and we got lost. I was like, what?
So Sean thinks your next adventure, Rodney, is grabbing a month-long Eurail pass and just kind of going around the EU.
Euro trip.
I mean, I am absolutely game if release team is footing the bill.
What say you, Sean?
Back to Sean.
Meanwhile, Matt says, hey, and we welcome
Hey,
all
Matt,
the
you were missed here.
amigos.
So Ronnie, you were trying to guilt trip me into getting a passport today, right?
I'm not trying to guilt trip you. The number one question I was asked this entire week is, where's Alex? Where's Alex? Why isn't Alex here? Alex should be here too. If you're here, Alex should be here. I'm like, yes, I know I am missing my twin, but he needs to get his freaking passport first.
I have 8 a.m. Saturday morning. I got the copies. I got the physical thingies. I got the check. I checked the checklist 3 times just to make sure I have everything.
Have you checked our definition of done? Because you've had problems with that one too.
I'm
gonna send you the $200 bill is what I'm gonna do.
we have updated the Jira ticket, so you know there might actually be a possibility of it being done. But I am going to move us along because we do have a lot of stuff to cover. It's just incredible what happens over 3 days, and I'm sure Rodney, you're one to talk about it. So let's talk about it. What happened these past 3 days?
Well, as we all know, Team 24 Europe. Basically, it's Team 24 in Vegas, but European style. They did some crazy announcements. Obviously, Focus was the big, well, not to be too punny, but Focus. Sean, we're going to get to rover pricing because there was a lot of grumbling about that on the floor as well. And a lot of that grumbling was caused by a certain Ape Tech Tutorials post.
How did I was like 3,000 miles away, 4,000 miles away.
Distance doesn't matter on LinkedIn. You know this. But yeah, there was Focus. There was the System of Work, which was a big focus of Atlassian. We're actually going to be talking we're going to show a talk I had with some Atlassians about it here in a little bit. Rovo was obviously a big deal. It is now generally available. But go ahead, Bob.
One thing that I really, really want to get Alex on, and that is the third major announcement that we're going to talk about, which was the Jira UI change is coming.
Finally.
And
I've been waiting. I'm like that little skeleton thing where it's like, I've been waiting 990 years for this change.
But before we do that, I do want to give the Jira Amigos a little bit of a flavor. Rodney shot some B-roll, and so I'm going to kind of play that right now, just to whet our appetite. Rodney, you're giving the hold sign.
No, go ahead.
All right.
Just tried to turn off my camera.
I wasn't
So-
pretty enough to be on the wall.
No, you're not. No, you're not. But if it makes you feeling better, I'm not even pretty enough to be on this podcast.
No, now I'm the only one here.
There we go.
Again, 100 podcasts later, we're still figuring out how to use our tool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, how was that experience, Rodney?
The expo hall was about the same size as the one in Vegas. And I think I crossed it over the course of the 3 days probably 50 times. Just, I got to go over here. Now I got to go over here and talk to these people. Now all the way back. There was never anything just in the middle.
I like how they had
one extreme or the other.
I like how they had the bingo and it said like locked or clocked in 5,000 steps. I'm like 5,000. That's just getting from your hotel to the expo. You gotta like put 15,000 at least. you
don't know,
put in some.
Yeah, I did put in some steps. My favorite bingo entry was saw an influencer making content. Then I'm like, well, I can never cross that one off because
You
All
gotta
you
walk
do is
past
look
the
in the
mirror. What about this wall of donuts? What was that all about? Why didn't we get one of those?
I don't know. They
They've
were
had
good
them in
donuts,
the
though.
past. I've seen them in the past.
Yeah, I remember they had it at I think it was 23.
Team 23. I don't remember seeing a wall of donuts, but they did have a wall of candy at the bash. Bash at Team 24 was not. It was missing some serious sugar.
Well, the bash at this event reminded me a lot of like the old bashes at Summit 16, Summit 17.
So back when Atlassian was poor.
Mm-hmm. Well, they actually rented out 2 locations that were adjacent to each other and like had made a little path between them so you could go between them. But the VIP section for the community leaders is only one of them. So you had as a community leader, you had to go to a specific one to get the right wristband to get all the community leader benefits.
What were some of
Guess
those
which one I
benefits?
did not go to.
What were some of the perks? Because the last time at Team 24, being able to be in those little secluded area was nice. Because
They had another little secluded area, but it was like the actual VIP area of this nightclub. So you actually felt like a VIP when you were there.
Were you
just
behind the
felt
velvet ropes?
Yes, there actually was velvet ropes.
Perfect. I can picture it.
But no, the bash event was great, and there was a wall of donuts. It wasn't at bash; it was actually just after lunch one day. They just wheeled out a giant wall of donuts that had chocolate covered donuts for the background, and then plain frosted donuts that spelled out team.
they just dropped the ball in Vegas because like Sean and I, we spent like the better part of like 30 minutes walking around looking for what we thought was a cookie. It was not a cookie. We were just like craving sugar and there was no sugar to be found. I remember at Team 23, they had like these little bowls of ice cream and like, or no, these chocolate balls. And like they would pour the hot chocolate and fudge into it and it would just melt. It was like delicious. It was beautiful, beautiful sugar. And this year, Sean and I couldn't find any sugar anywhere.
Oh, there was sugar to be had. There was plenty of sugar to be had. Also, because it is Spain, plenty of ham.
Ooh,
Ham or Pam?
ham.
Like jamon?
Jamon, yeah.
Yeah.
You know I don't speak Spanish. Don't try and make me.
How did you survive the last week in Spanish only, Bill?
Carefully.
I was telling my
very
son about
carefully.
Spain this weekend, and I don't even know how the conversation went, but my son was like, "What language did they speak in Spain?" And I'm like, "Spanish." I'm like, "Spanish," and he's like, "Wait, I thought that was Mexico." I'm like, "No, there's quite a few countries."
Like half the world.
He's 7 years old, mind you. Okay, he's coming to the realization, and I was like, "Spoilers: English comes from England,
Right.
French comes from France."
To Matt Door's point, they actually speak Catalan Spanish. Both here kind of depends on who you're talking to, but almost everything is also written in English, and all the announcements are also made in English. So the only thing I really had to work hard on was the location names, because they still smoke it. It's like, okay, did I hear that right? Is that actually my stop on the subway?
Dude, riding a subway in San Francisco is scary, and it's in English. I can't imagine when everything's in another language. Sean and I, when we were in San Francisco back in February, we were like, "Oh boy, we are gonna like totally miss our stop." And then at least trying to get back, like I was like, "Hey, how do I get back to the airport?" And the BART and the station, it'll take you to Oakland or SFO, and they both say airport, but one's one way and one's the other way. So you get in the wrong one, you're done. I still have a credits for the BART too. We got to go spend them, Sean. But yeah, there's Spanish. And what I never heard it called as Catalan, but I've heard it Castellano, which is not the Spanish that I speak. Their Spanish is exquisite. I speak Spanish from the streets.
So from my perspective, when I used to work in content management, you would have ESMX, and over there they have ESES. So Spanish is from Spain, where the Spanish Mexican variant. Not to mention Spatin or ESX, I want to say was like Latin America. Yeah. Anyway, I digress.
A lot of Spanishes.
There are.
So, Rodney, you want me to show you some of the intros of some of the people that you interviewed?
Sure. Let's go on.
Let's do that. So we're gonna first get a glimpse of some of the people that attended, some familiar faces and some new faces.
A-list celebrities. Who can we spot?
So the first question: what is your name and where are you from?
My name is Adam Stempin, and I am from Poland.
My name is Julie. I'm originally from Ukraine, but I came to the event from Argentina.
Hello, I'm Pedro. I'm from Portugal. I'm Matt Reiner with K15T. Hey, my name is Sanket. I'm from Revise, and I'm based in India.
My name is Max Förster, and I'm from Munich, Germany.
I'm Dan Toombs, and I am a solution architect here at Avfire.
My name's Big Chris Cook, and I'm from England, currently working with Seabird.
So interesting, because here's what I would do. I'd walk up to someone, I would hand them my mic, say, "Hey, can you hold this for me for a moment?" And then I turn on my camera and start asking, "Okay, what's your name?"
Baited switch. How did Chris's Atlassian A and his hair look like? Like, was it good? The pictures do it justice?
Yeah, they do. It's kind of weird to see it in person because I was not expecting blue hair when I saw him. No, Sean, no one kept the mic. I'm a little surprised at that. I was expected to have to chase someone down, which, given my heart, would not have ended well. But no, they all handed it back.
Where's the fun man at?
The fun man was a late addition. I wasn't able to get him uploaded in time.
But he was there.
He was there. And
we're probably going to be using him as the Jira Life special.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, that sounds fun. I recognize
so Sean does not get my microphone.
Yeah, next time you see Sean, don't give me a microphone.
I don't know if that's worth the price of admission for a microphone.
Do not give your microphone to Sean next time you see him.
Nope.
So what's next?
Well, I know you asked them some questions. I think we're gonna show some of the questions that you asked them. Is there any particular favorite? I was going to go with their role in their ecosystem to get to know them, or do you really want to go into something like the one word the word association?
I think the word association was pretty interesting.
Let's do that then. So this is a combination of what word they think of when they hear the word Atlassian, and also what is their die-hard Atlassian product.
When I say the word Atlassian, what's the first word you think of?
Share price.
The Atlassian product I cannot live without is.
Confluence is the only one I actually use.
And that's the truth. So what is the first word you think of when I say Atlassian?
Hate love. Is that 2 words? I mean, I'm not a native speaker in English, but I think it's 2 words.
I'll count it.
You count it because I mean
We can hyphenate.
I've been using the tools for like more than 11 years now, and I love them. I like to spend my time, or liked it years ago, to do workflows in Jira. Now I love Confluence, and but it's also sometimes just annoying me very much. But still, I wouldn't want any other tool for my daily work.
Well, that goes into our next question. What the Atlassian product you cannot live without is?
Confluence. Pretty much Confluence, let's be honest, because that's where we keep our knowledge, where we share our knowledge.
All right. What is the first word you think of when I say Atlassian?
The first word I think of is the color blue, because like everything's blue. They used to have magenta. Where did the magenta go? Bring back magenta, please.
We'll make that a hashtag. The Atlassian product I cannot live without is?
The Atlassian product. The Atlassian product I cannot live without is absolutely, without a doubt, Confluence. I was going to say Stride, but I've been having to live without it for a while now.
Stride. We miss you.
Rest in peace.
What is the first word you think of when I say Atlassian?
Jira.
The Atlassian product I cannot live without is?
Confluence.
All right, what's the first word you think of when I say Atlassian?
Jira.
Wow, right?
Yep. The Atlassian product I cannot live without is?
Jira.
All right. What's the first word you think of when I say Atlassian?
Jira.
Easy.
Easy.
So what is the product you cannot live without?
Jira.
Jira and Confluence.
Confluence to some extent.
All right.
Confluence is.
Okay.
So I was absolutely surprised with how many people answered Confluence for the second question.
I'm surprised you didn't ask me if a taco was a sandwich.
It was actually on the
Oh,
list
we've
that I
got
checked
other
into.
inane questions to ask, so you know.
Oh, I've got a new one that
We're only
I'm
20
waiting
minutes
for.
into this.
But
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if we should actually divert a little bit and actually talk about what they announced.
yeah, we should.
I
want to
haven't
say
seen the
something.
keynote, so
I
what did they
think,
announce?
We'll get there, Alex. We'll get there. Patience, man. Patience. I do want to note that for the word association, it might have been biased towards Jira because I had Jira guy on my name tag. I was wearing a Jira Life shirt. It was kind of in their face. But getting on to their announcements, which one, Bob?
Well,
which one do we want to go with
announcement
first?
number one, we kind of do have to lead with this, and part of it is it kind of hampered us a little bit on our embargo thing, and Alex kind of talked about it as well, and that is Rovo is now in GA. You can now pick up Rovo, and it's actually been a short trip for Rovo, only about 5 months since they officially announced it at Team 24, and they're now announcing that Rovo is now in GA. They showed off a few things during the keynote, and they talked about it here on some of the capabilities dealing with search and chat and agents. So some of the ones that are interesting is that they set up search connectors for data center. So the Atlassian data center products are actually getting some love. First out of the gate is Confluence, and Rodney, I think you have some details on that.
Yeah, I don't know if it came across on the recordings of the keynote, but actually being in the audience, you could hear an audible gasp from the audience when they popped up data center because no one was expecting those two words in a keynote.
That's interesting.
So
Meanwhile, the predictions were data centers down, but here we go. It's been revived.
I'm still not too optimistic, but I am seeing some signs that Atlassian may be trying to turn around from the only path forward is cloud path they've been on for a while, but I don't know if it's too little, too late.
You don't think? I think it's kind of an evolutionary. You can't turn the Titanic on a dime, right? And so they've been kind of hammering this message for years. Now they hit one of the first major things and realize maybe we can't keep on this path, and so data center is going to be hanging around a little while longer, and so this is where they're going to start getting some love.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite new Coke, but
yeah. So I think Yumi's got a good thing. They milked everyone, and now increasing prices for data center motivated by new features. Maybe.
Well, I mean, data center has been starved of actual new features for how many years now?
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote about this because I was upset about it 2 years ago. And it was years before that since the last time we had a groundbreaking new feature.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it was a surprise to all of us that, at least in the audience, I could hear it that, wait, did they just say data center?
I don't know if you'd make a good field reporter like that. That might trigger another heart attack.
Oh,
I did not have a heart attack.
Yeah, I was gonna
We
say.
do not need to be starting rumors. What I had could have caused a heart attack, which is why I went to the doctor like right away.
yes. This PSA was sponsored by the Jira Life.
So, some of the other news about that, since we talked to our friend Jensen, the three parts of Rovo that we know of: Rovo Search, Rovo Chat, and Rovo Agents, and a lot of people are really, really getting interested in the Rovo Agents. In fact, some of the marketplace vendors have announced their Rovo agents, if I remember right. Like
they do. And I do want to touch on Rovo agents because they showed them as a demo during the keynote. And I wasn't able to get it on video, how you train an agent. Because this was a major concern of mine when we talked about Rovo after Team 24 was, look, agents can be groundbreaking, but if you need a computer science degree to make them, this is just going to be another script runner where it's great, it's powerful, it's awesome, but you need a dedicated resource to manage it. I'm happy to announce that based on what they showed, again, I'm here, I haven't really had a chance to play with it yet, but what they showed, training an agent is really simple, uses natural language. Literally anyone could do it. But this does lead me to another concern that I will report here is when do agents get the assets and the automation execution treatment?
Yeah, and if it's so easy to make, everybody's just gonna make like 1 million of them.
And then all of a sudden you're going to have Atlassian, oh, if you have too many, you're going to be charged.
Good.
That's all I can say. Die. Watch out for that tree stew.
So also one of the interesting integrations that they announced was that there was a integration between Rovo and another AI tool that most people know about, at least in the developer world, and that is GitHub Copilot. So in other words, you can be in your IDE, your integrated development environment, working on your stuff with GitHub Copilot, and you can ask GitHub Copilot, and it will talk with Rovo to pull in some of the context from Atlassian sources straight from your
at this
IDE.
point, do we even need developers or anybody anymore?
Well, exactly, right? We all just send in our AIs wherever they're needed, and we clone ourselves that way.
One of the interesting thoughts was there one of the Rovo agents connects up to Canva, and I'm kind of wondering if that means that we can generate our Jira Life thumbnails just through a quick question to a Rovo agent.
I was thinking that as they were showing it during the keynote, I'm like, well, that's going to make my Mondays easier.
As well as create hundreds of thousands of petulant designers.
Yep.
I mean, Figma is an option, but Canva is better.
They serve different purposes, but
yeah,
I want to get my hands on it. I hope that they let us try it out extensively because it seems very powerful.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
and then
I'm going to revert back to a comment that I made with Brian as we were discussing the price and the privacy of it, right? But I just feel like I could barely get my teams to use Jira, just the fundamentals, like consistently, like putting story points on a story is already a challenge. Like I can't imagine when you can literally do anything. Like people are just gonna be like deers in headlights. Well, what do you want me to do? Just overwhelmed. But maybe that's just me not knowing how to use tools very well.
Well, I can imagine, given, oh God, and everybody just be nice to me with what I'm about to say in case it's just all like, what? And hopefully I can remember what I was about to say. Okay. Given what was just shared about being in your IDE, right? So your GitHub can go out, your GitHub AI can go talk to your Atlassian AI and make things happen. Something that is just a recurring theme throughout my entire time of working with the tools and or getting other folks onboarded with the tools. There's always just this like, I want to use the tool, but I don't actually want to interact with the tool. I don't want to go to Jira screens and input data. I just want everything just to be pushed to me in whatever system I want to use. And so I wonder, like, as those things grow, right? So then it's just like I create my own personal interface, all I do all day, instead of having to have 19 monitors, of all my work that I'm doing. I just have one screen, one monitor, and I just have this thing that's saying, hey, here's a thing, here's a thing, here's a thing. And I just react to it right there and just talk to it. Or is that just weird?
No, I don't think that's weird at all. I think that is kind of that holy grail. Looking for the interface that will allow you to work, and I think that's really where it really depends on your role, right? If you're a coder, you don't want to be going into Jira all day, right? You really want to be hands on keyboard, working that IDE. And then allowing something to kind of touch Jira as needed.
Do you guys think that the Atlassian marketplace will then slowly be phased out by Rovo?
I think it's going to be complemented. I think you're going to see AppFire, selling their Rovo agents and other people selling their Rovo agents. It might even be its own category.
Now. Yeah, like when we have apps now, we're just going to have agents as another category on that.
But if you're able to make your own agent, but if you're able to make your own agent that then replaces your need to go and get an AppFire app.
I mean, true, Alex, but how many people do you know have paid for something in Jira just so they don't have to do something themselves?
That's because it's not a feature today, but Rovo makes it a feature.
I'm just saying, people can't always go and make their own whatever using Rovo. Granted, people are also lazy.
Yeah, it's always that build versus buy decision, right?
But you just said that it's supposed to be so easy that your natural language, I just tell it, hey, I want to be able to do this in Jira.
And yes, Alex, and people are still so lazy. You were just complaining you can't get them to enter a number, and you're thinking people are going to be so unlazy all of a sudden.
Well, let's make it clear. I can't get the end users to input a number, but I can get a Jira admin to put numbers in. And so what if the Jira admin now has the option to not go to a marketplace?
I mean, there's only so many hours in Jira admin's day. They're not going to be sitting there and making Rovo agents all day.
Okay, so then let's flip the script the other way. Is AppFire going to charge extra for their Rovo agents?
Compared to what?
Compared to is that like a new fee? Is there going to be like a new payment option that you got to now buy the Rovo agent plus the app? Like how does
I can subscribe now for that.
like did they announce anything on like how do you buy Rovo agents from the vendors, or is it just going to be bundled in their app?
I think that's a question for AppFire.
Well, it's a general question for any vendor. I'm not. We use AppFire as an example.
We're picking on AppFire here, but a lot of vendors there had Rovo agents already.
Right. So how are they going to get it?
During the Team 24 graphics, I spotted Deezer, I spotted AppFire, I spotted a number of other app vendors in the marketplace that apparently already knew this and was working on something back in April.
Yeah, because Jens showed me release like his Rovo agent that he's building for his app, and we had permission from Sharif to publish it on my channel. But the question still stands, like, so is this going to be like a new bill? Like, is this a new item that you buy under their under release.so?
I mean, that has yet to be seen. I'd imagine, and this is me, some app vendors will treat it as a new feature on their existing products. So you get it as a bonus to what you're paying. Some app vendors will had it as a new SKU, a new line item that you could buy. And it's just going to be per vendor how they choose to treat it.
Mm-hmm.
So
we should make the official Jira Life Robo agent.
Yeah, if any of us have the time.
Rodney?
I find it hilarious you think I have time.
Well, you're in Spain. You got an 8.5-hour flight back. You have plenty of time.
One where I do intend to unplug for about 8.5 hours and not have internet.
Good plan.
I heard that MCB used to code up Jira features on his way to San Francisco.
That's a longer flight.
Hey, is Ed going to be on your flight back?
Unfortunately, Ed is not. He is staying an extra day. I have to get back because, as we remember a few weeks ago, I had that health scare. Well, the doctors really want to see me, and my appointment's like right away on Monday. So Monday or Tuesday.
When are you flying back?
Question for my calendar.
If only you had Rovo to answer that. Exactly. Like, when do we get our Rovo communicator pins? Because that's the kind of person I am. I just want to be like, Rovo, where is my son?
Can we just address that? I am so glad they updated the logo because it used to look like Walmart.
Oh, yeah. Paul, do we have a way to see the before and after? I don't remember. Or are you just talking about like that Starburst?
It was like the Starburst thing when they announced it in Vegas, and now they like switched it to like curly break or the brackets but sideways.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, because the first thing that came to my mind when I saw Rovo in April, I was like, Walmart.
Well, yeah, when you combine it with Atlassian, I think blue. So
yeah, see now, well, when the video that I watched, it had like the curly braces but sideways. More sideways than that, but
okay.
As long as it didn't look like the Walmart logo, because the other one looked like a straight up Walmart logo.
Is it the blue background one with the like hexagon?
The blue background with kind of the Mobius.
That's the new one.
Yeah.
I like the word Mobius. I'm like, I don't know. It looks like a hexagon.
Did we find out what Robo stood for? Did Jess tell, or what was her name? Jensen tell us?
Did not tell us this week, but she did promise she wanted to come back on the show. So we will have Jensen back at some point soon, and you could ask her that.
The one time I didn't want to get in trouble. We had the perfect episode.
Can I ask the dumb question just in case there's not nerds watching this or people who know all these things already?
Ask the dumb question.
What Robo?
Well, yeah. What is this thing we've been talking about? No, but what is the OVO part, right? Because in the thing it was talking about like there's other products that are like OVO. I mean, is there something about OVO and AI that I'm missing?
What's OVO?
I don't know. Rich
not
owners
sure.
will obey. Sorry.
What do you mean from the? So
I thought I saw
I'm looking at the blog, and that I just showed up. OVO apparently was one of the beta testers. OVO Energy, and so they have a testimonial on the blog page.
So that's just coincidence?
Could very well be.
Okay, I thought maybe there was like some term out there, or, like
beta tester because they were so close.
Yeah,
we need a beta tester. Who works in our directory?
No, I mean I thought it always sounded kind of like Rover, like somebody who's gonna go retrieve things for you.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a puppy.
Yeah,
like when you name your dog.
Yeah, like you got to name it something cute so it's not so intimidating and scary, right? And probably like why certain other things are named the way they are. I don't want to say its name because it'll talk to me.
Yeah, they could have gone the way of Google. I thought it was so funny because like Microsoft had Cortana and like Apple had Siri and Google's like assistant.
Yeah.
Just assistant.
Yeah. I like that Rover Rooter.
I think Samsung had Bixby or something like that.
We need someone with some better Photoshop skills than I have to get started on that.
Maybe somebody, I don't know if there's still a copyright for it, but somebody could bring back Jeeves. Remember Ask Jeeves?
Ask Jeeves, Ask Robo.
There you go. All right, so I want to pivot because I know that Alex is just going to rant on this one. Announcement number 2. We're going to welcome the brand new Jira interface. And before we do that, before we kind of take it apart, we actually do have a video. And this is something that Rodney got us. This is Dave Myers. He is the head of product for Jira, and he's going to talk about what's new.
Hey there, this is Rodney. I'm with Dave Meyer, the head of product for Jira at Atlassian. So Dave, why don't you tell us some of what was announced this week?
Thanks, Rodney. We've had a really exciting last 6 months since we announced that we were bringing together Jira Software and Jira Work Management. We know that we need to make a lot of improvements to the core user experience of Jira to make Jira awesome for every type of team that's using it. And so we're really excited to show off here today at Team 24 Europe, things like our new navigation, which is unified across all the different Jira products, and eventually with Confluence and our new Atlassian Home and all of our other Atlassian products as well. It's more customizable at the individual user level, so you get to star and pin the plans, projects, filters that you're using most frequently, so that's easier to get back to them. At the project level, you can rearrange the different Jira features so that if you're using boards more than you're using the calendar, or you're using the list more than you're using the timeline, you can put those tabs front and center for the users. And if you're not even using a feature, you can just hide that from the navigation so you never have to see it again, which will help clean up all of the power of Jira to make it easier to navigate. We also are doing a complete visual overhaul of Jira. So there's new iconography, new fonts, new different amounts of white space. We've tried to improve the visual density, and so you get more of the value of Jira on your screen real estate at the same time. It's just the first step in a lot of improvements we're making to make Jira feel a little bit more fun, a little bit more modern, a little bit more exciting. There's also new background images and background board colors so that you can customize Jira to how you want your team to express themselves. And then on the planning side, we are almost ready to generally make program boards generally available, which I'm super excited about. This has been a long time coming, and I think it's going to be a big unlock for that team of teams level planning where you're planning initiatives and epics across a large number of teams. There's a new, more advanced dependency tracking view there. So those are a couple of the things that I'm most excited about, but it's really just the tip of the iceberg.
Awesome. I know being able to pin projects, start projects as your favorite, that is going to be a massive feature that users are going to love. I can't wait to get my hands on it because I know we've all had the experience where was that one project I interacted with 2 weeks ago, I need to submit a new issue and I can't remember what it is. So I love that. Absolutely. Well, Dave, thank you for your time. Thank you for being willing to talk to Jira Life.
He's going to talk more.
And
We cut
hope to
him
see you
off.
around.
Love to see you.
He had more to say.
He's like, give me the question. Give me the question.
He had more to say.
The thing is, I wasn't sure at that point if I was supposed to be doing what I was doing, so
You can ask for forgiveness later and permission never.
Yeah, forgiveness in this case would probably be kicked out of the conference and not invited to the next one.
Hey, he knew the risk that he was taking when he took that microphone in his hand.
All right.
They get trained. They have like a pre-game. They know who and what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, he was on message with all of that, right? Like that was.
I don't know. Some of it towards the end, I kind of got the feeling he maybe shouldn't have announced it, but he got a little too excited about.
You know what I caught about this too, and maybe it's one of those like you spot it if you got it kind of things, was when he was referring to the ability to put images and background colors on these things, he gave a little bit of a giggle because I think for some of us, it's a little bit of an eye roll feature, to be honest with me. And I think with other people, like, okay, great. You can put a background color or put an image back here, right? And
We're gonna get into that because the blog actually has an example of this, and I really want to see Alex's reaction on this. But
that's not new. That's been out for a while. They made that announcement like 3 months ago.
But only in work management. But now, right, it would be.
But there is no work management now. It's just Jira.
Just Jira.
I just want to know when the heck is this coming out because I have 800 videos I got to redo until this dumb piece of crap comes out.
I've heard it's very, very imminent. Like
I hear March 20. I hear March 31st
about next week.
I hear March 21st, 2025. That's what I'm guessing. A week before 2025.
Live from Alex's home.
Seriously, that's what they did with the artificial, like the whiteboard feature. They announced it in April of 2023, and it came out like February of 2024. So
I don't want to get to this reaction. So,
you want me to scroll down to what the board looks like?
Yes.
Watch, Agile's dead, isn't it? This freaking child. I hope that's not true. They got to be trolling us there.
So, Sean mentioned I need to take gear interview classes. The fact was, I was trying to control an irresistible urge to ask, does it support animated GIFs? Because if it does, God help us all.
All I can tell you is Trello's dead.
Only if it can throw confetti, but I agree with Alex.
Actually, you say if it will throw confetti. That's actually one of the features.
I know. That's why. Well, I don't know that, but like I can well imagine. Yeah, it does look like Trello.
So Lina brings up a good point. You know, that was my first reaction. It's like, oh, you know, I'm wondering just how many more times we say Trello before Brittany shows up. It's kind of like Beetlejuice.
Trello.
And my first thought when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, they Trellified this. I wonder what Alex's reaction is going to be.
I'm on an Airtable. I'm out of here, guys. I'm leaving.
Well,
Derek, you can have my
Jira
spot.
Table Life.
So welcome to the last episode of the Jira Life. Next
Yes.
week, it's welcome to the Asana Life.
I'm rebranding. I'm going to Airtable. Trello's dead. Period. Done. Brittany's got no leg to stand on. Why would you go to Trello at this point?
I want to mention one thing. Matt criticized my my pronunciation of GIF. I actually like to alternate between the two because that ticks off both sides, just the inconsistency. So
Provocateur.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine all the HR complaints when somebody puts something inappropriate in their Jira board. No more issues. Oh, great.
So you can,
No.
I think you can rename or something like that. I don't know exactly how it works.
Look, this is why they killed Agile. Where's your epic? Where's your story? There's no.
It can be whatever you want it.
Not everyone
Right, what you
works
need
in
to
epics and stories.
Agile is now dead in the face of Atlassian.
Do we want to go back and revisit our predictions for what Scott's gonna do next? What you want
Agile
Scott
piece.
to do next?
I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna go make a new Jira that's Agile friendly.
So
I'm gonna go build some for devs.
this, yeah. So this one I've been kind of waiting for. Real, honest to goodness project templates.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh gosh, yeah. I should read more. But yeah.
Yes, this is actually something I asked Atlassian about back during the peak of pandemic, like 2020, 2021. They asked me, what is the thing you want to see most in Jira? I'm like, give me a true project template. And if it's something I can share with others, not just in my instance, but make it like shareable object, that's even better. So yes, templates, please. Finally.
And also, I have to read this. So when they say a template, right? Because right now for me, the existing templates make me want to hurt people because of all the stuff it creates when you use one of the templates, right? That you don't necessarily want all of those things. So if you create a custom project template, does it clone it with all the stuff, like duplicate it all, or is it really a shared configuration based on that template?
I think it's shared configurations.
Okay.
Because it's looking at issue types, fields, workflows, notifications, security permissions.
But you know what I'm saying? Like right now, if you go use a template, like even if you created a template, a project, using the ITSM template, and then you create another project using the same ITSM template, but don't choose shared configurations,
right.
then it
It's gonna
creates
have its
all
own.
of that again.
Yep. This is, I think this is going to share it, hopefully.
Right. That's my thing. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on the clock. We have about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I think we
actually have
focus
to
on focus.
Yeah, we should talk about focus. And with it, I instead of talking about it, I've got videos to show. The second one is going to be a system of work, and it's going to be it's a little lengthy. So yeah, it's going to eat up our time. But let me show the first one. The first one is the third announcement is that Atlassian's releasing a new product dealing with goal setting and keeping track of setting not small goals, but large enterprise wide goals. And so they've got a product that will work with Jira or Jira Align called Focus. And the person that I am going to have talk about it is Anu. So bringing that up right now.
Flexibility to support your unique approach to strategy planning and scales to serve companies of all sizes. It lets you convert your strategic plan document into a living artifact where you can see in real time how you're doing against your priorities and key results. Think of focus areas as the atomic unit of any strategy planning process. It is a combination of goals, work, themes, and funds that you can put together in any way you want. Goals are set at the highest level, followed by work required to deliver those goals, teams to do that work, and the budget to fund those teams. Goals are part of the Atlassian platform, and like I just showed you, it's available in every one of our products. Soon you'll be able to pull in information from other work management tools, but right now Jira and Jira Align work automatically gets rolled up into the focus area. Teams are a part of the Atlassian platform and will be available in every product, while funds can be connected to your financial systems, allowing you to do workforce planning and budgeting all in one single place. Focus is your central hub that can roll up work, goals, teams, and funds at the enterprise level. Focus areas can be updated right in line inside Focus so everybody is in the loop on progress. And when the focus area goes off track, you want to be notified immediately. But as leaders, you're not sitting around staring at the screen all day. You might be in meetings, you might be on the road, or you're out and about in nature. That's why we've integrated Focus with Slack and Microsoft Teams. So you get a notification when something is off track, no matter where you are. Clicking on your Slack notification takes you directly to the focus area where you can see a quick summary, thanks to Atlassian intelligence, of all the action that's taking place in the focus area, giving you a chance to catch up on everything in one place. We are super excited about Atlassian Focus, and I'm also thrilled to announce that you will get Focus with your Jira Align licenses for free. Please check out the Enterprise Strategy and Planning Process Super Session to hear more details, including our investments in Jira Life.
So, one more video, and this will probably be the one that will actually, it won't be the one that will close us out, but it's actually kind of a lengthy one. Rodney picked up an exclusive. He's got an interview with Tiffany Toe and Peter Morris. Tiffany Toe is the Senior Vice President of Enterprise and Platforms. And so she's going to be talking about the system of work. And she's there with Peter Morris. He's a senior product manager.
Hello everyone, I am here with Atlassian's Tiffany and Pete talking about their new system of work. Tiffany, if you don't mind explaining, what is the system of work?
Yes, so one of the things I like to start with is that the system of work is not some new concept. It's actually what customers have told me they have built with our products and other vendors' products. It's really the way that your organization does their work and collaborates, right? So oftentimes it's going to use Jira as a source of truth, but you might be using a range of other tools, marketplace partner tools, and it's basically the way that you think about integrating all of those into a way of doing work. And so that's why I'm always very careful to say that the system of work is not just the tools. Those are an enabling element, but the system of work is really about a philosophy for how to work. And right now, the big new thing that I think Atlassian is trying to push and be very clear about is that it's not just about the dev teams, that we really want the business teams connecting together with the dev teams. So system of work is a philosophy for bringing those technology teams and those business teams together to have much higher impact as a technology-driven organization.
All right. So you said, and this is something I know I've preached, that it's not just about the tools. Maybe explain some of the deeper concepts. What are the other things people should be looking at when they're looking to adopt the system of work? And this could be easy for you, Pete or Tiffany.
Yeah, Pete and I talk a lot about the practices and the system of work.
Absolutely. So one of the way that we position it, you see in our keynote or in our super session at the moment, there are 3 beliefs that we have. We believe in aligning work to goals, planning and tracking work together, and unleashing collective knowledge. And these are things that will help bring business and technology teams together to produce a higher ROI, faster time to value, and it's when you have alignment to goals, those teams can understand what each of them are working on, and they can better collaborate with each other. When they're planning and tracking work together, business teams and technology teams can understand their common dependencies and be able to sequence work in a more effective way. And then when they're unleashing their collective knowledge, they're not just working in silos and losing all the knowledge they're creating along the way. They're able to reuse and constantly improve that knowledge and get efficiency and effectiveness gains over time.
Awesome. So again, another question for either of you. You said that you have interviewed companies who have been doing this kind of thing for a while and kind of brought the best breed. What are some of the benefits? I know you already mentioned some, but what are some of the benefits those teams have already seen? And again,
I can start. Well, one of the things that customers have shared with us was there is this attraction initially to giving users the freedom to pick all of the tools, right? And that has resulted in a lot of tool proliferation. And so then the corresponding challenge that results from that is that people actually spend more time copying and pasting data and content between all the tools to collaborate. So what we found with the way that we're architecting our system of work, what Pete was just talking about, is that it's very important to have a common data model across these tools. And so the system of work, the users are interfacing through the practices and through the tool layer, but the really important part that powers that system of work is the platform layer. And that's because that platform layer is taking that data and it's providing context. And so we announced today in both, or yesterday, the keynote and the super sessions, we've been talking a lot about this concept of a teamwork graph. And that teamwork graph actually connects that data together, connects the team data, the goal data, the work data, the knowledge data, what Pete was just talking about. And what that means to your question about a benefits perspective is customers can start to shrink down the number of tools a bit, right? But still offer the right level of flexibility. Because you don't want to get to a point where you're like, every single persona is trying to use the same tool for everything they do. That obviously doesn't work. Your designers are going to be in Figma. You're going to have quite a range of folks that are in Jira. You have hopefully the whole company using Confluence. And so that common data layer in that teamwork graph allows us to move that context back and forth between the tools. So if you're making updates and changes in Figma, that flows through to Jira. When status changes there, that's flowing back to Figma. All of this becomes kind of this context building kind of secret sauce in our platform that allows you to still have flexibility, right? You can still choose a range of tools, not have limitless sets of tools, and now you're eliminating all that copying and pasting between things because you've got that integration at a technical perspective, but you also have context. So back to the practices, it's not just about moving status information. That teamwork graph understands that you're working on a project that's connected to a specific goal, there's a specific team working on it, there's specific knowledge tied to it. So it actually enriches context as you're kind of working between the tools, if that makes sense. But Pete can probably add and say this much more eloquently.
I don't know about that. Look, some more of the benefits that we're trying to get to our customers are around the ability to get more predictable delivery. So if your teams are planning and tracking work together, you can understand you can hopefully hit your target date a lot more accurately rather than have dependencies that overrun, that then move everything back and teams have to go around in circles before they can actually ship things to customers. We're also helping them with greater effectiveness as well. So when you have clearer goals, you can then understand the ideas that best achieve those goals and continue to iterate as you're learning by shipping things in the market. So we're bringing greater visibility into what the goals are. You saw us announce Focus yesterday as well, so that leaders can better direct their organization too, by pushing out what they believe is the right direction for their company and then being able to pull back and monitor the progress of all their teams as well. So better outcomes, faster, more predictable, and then as Tiffany mentioned, reducing the total cost of ownership across the tools in their company as well.
Yeah, and I do want to bring up Focus. I know it's not the focus, if you will, of this particular talk, but I do believe that has always been the missing piece where, yeah, we have the ground level workers doing the work. We got the manager level that are kind of overseeing things, and we've had tools for those from Jira Align to Jira Software, Service Management, even product discovery, and then Confluence as kind of knowledge store, but we didn't have that top layer. So I am absolutely excited that we now have something for the top layer of the company so they can integrate with the lower tools and see a full picture of what's going on and map their goals for the company to the full system. So that is also exciting. I think it is a missing piece to this puzzle.
Hugely. We are very excited as well. And it comes from, I think, our own internal learning at Atlassian, right? We obviously use all of our products with a vengeance, and as the company has scaled and tripled in size the last 5 years, we've had similar challenges as our customers where we've got all the Jira data, but if you want to ask at the top level, like, okay, we have some really key objectives that we're going after, how do I understand how we're doing against those things? It's still quite a bit of work to pull all that data across Jira. So having these focus areas now gives you that next tier, as you were saying, Rodney, like to have those buckets that provides a very quick way now to move that data around, but also ensure that that's happening dynamically. Because once you've set those focus areas and they're connected through the hierarchy to the rest of the Jira project data, then the nice thing is as things are changing, as we know the pace of business is happening so quickly, you don't have to go back and like manually make all these changes. Those updates are going to happen very quickly. So if you've got to reorder your priorities, that's going to happen a lot more efficiently. So I think that's about, back to your earlier question about the benefits, it's being able to be responsive in a way that adapts to today's organization, because I think that part of why the practices are so crucial, as we were saying at the top, is that there isn't any longer a command and control method for companies to be effective, especially in tech. It's actually about teams being able to pivot quickly, but that means data has to flow very smoothly up and down, but also across the organization with shared context all of the time, right? So I do agree with you. Focus provides that missing piece of that whole puzzle.
All right. Well, I do want to thank both Tiffany and Pete here for joining me. This is Rodney at Team 24 Europe, and we'll catch you next time.
Okay.
So Chad had a lot to say about that. So I did give our JSM portal to Tiffany's assistant, and there is a chance that she may be on later. So you may get your part 2, Sarah.
I gotta go. See you guys.
We gotta follow up with these people. We got Sharif, we got Anu, I'm sure
I
Dave
did
would
a
wanna come
lot
on.
of groundwork. I even touched base with Sharif while we were there. So I'm trying. I handed out our JSM portal like it was candy. And I'm going to make Sean very hungry by the end of this episode.
All right. Well, we're way over time.
Yeah, we're way over time.
So do we want to show the last clip that we're going to show that I managed to get?
Yes.
Y'all want to see this. Y'all
Yep.
want to see this. Don't
Yep.
drop. You want to see this.
You do want to see this. This is, I would say that it's almost by presidential decree. So here we go, and that is it for our show this week with a recap. Rodney, thank you for being out there, getting all of this great material, and we'll have a regular schedule next week with our guest Jovan Jovansen. So. But now let's kind of end this with our traditional sign off.
Okay. If we get you to say our catchphrase with us, which is, I'll say, we didn't choose the Jira Life, and then we'll all say, the Jira Life chose us. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Thank you. Ready? Okay. All right. We didn't choose the Jira Life. The Jira Life chose us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Jira Life. Our hosts are Alex, Dr. Jira Ortiz, and Rodney, the Jira Guy, Nissen. You can find Alex on YouTube at 8Tech Tutorials, and Rodney's blog is found over at thejiraguy.com. Our producers are Robert King Bob Wen and Lina Ortiz. You can catch us live as we record this podcast every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube at The Jira Life. Be sure to join us and our other Jira Amigos of the Peanut Gallery every week to ask your questions, let us know your comments, and just tell us what you're up to. But if you can't join us live, you can still catch the replay over on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell while you're watching. We're also available as a podcast over on Apple iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you listen to it and think it deserves a rating, we would very much appreciate it, as it will help others discover the Jira Life. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life. The Jira Life chose us.